Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to walk through my learnings and a little project for creating the autonomous CS agent on your team. And so I wanted to learn how we can use Agentic AI to start automating parts of a CSM's work. And then also, how do we create more autonomy for a CS agent on your team? So not only understands your information, your company, but starts to intervene on your behalf with some human oversight as well. And so I wanted to think of this as an extension, almost like an employee on my team, a junior CSM that can begin executing on the behalf of the CS team. And so I'm going to walk you through how I've sort of configured it in case you want to take some of the learnings and practical applications for in this to your team, whether you're using another agentic platform or you want to start just automating a few workflows. And so here's what I try to do. What Atlas will be configured, the master flow. And so I wanted Atlas to understand and learn about our customer health and company information. So I'm going to upload all the data into Atlas. We have some test data here. It's going to do a little bit of mapping, and then it's going to ask me questions about my data, 3 to 5 questions, clarifying questions on it, and it's going to go ahead and build a risk model. I don't want to build health scores. I think you've all, if you're watching this, have probably configured health scores. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work on triggers. It takes such a long time. I want Atlas to handle all of that and to also provide additional insights. And then I want Atlas to kind of monitor that data as it comes in and look at the critical thresholds that I've configured, evaluate accounts against playbook triggers, and then alert internally over time, and then also chat with me and learn more about what monitoring should be. And then lastly, I want an agent that actually can intervene, right? It's no good if I'm just chatting about my data. Can Atlas go ahead and execute playbooks on our behalf? And so I wanted to configure a quick renewal check-in playbook, but also we can do risk-based alerts, and then also create tasks and things like that for CSMs for the human element. And so 2 big things that you'll need to think about when you're configuring an agent is the company context. You want to upload or at least start teaching Atlas more information about your company, your business, your products. And then the skills layer. I wanted Atlas to not just send a renewal email that's different every time. I wanted Atlas to send emails in the brand voice and the format, with best practices based on CS outreach for customers. And I want that all built into skills. So I'm preloading him with skills in terms of how to email, and then, of course, how to send our renewal snapshot emails as well. And then, of course, we're going to ingest this email. We're going to onboard, monitor, intervene. And then I think the big part, as you configure agents in your workflow, you have to think about these skills and subset of skills. And so what this is looking at is, hey, what is the structure of the email? What should it look like? Should it have tone? What sort of tone is aligned with our company? The length, the specific purpose. I want clear call to actions. I always want a region to be reaching out to a customer. And all of these are pre-built into Atlas's working model. So let me show you how it would work. I have Atlas bot here, and I uploaded data already. And just this morning, it has given me playbooks triggers detected. And so what I can do is look at the different accounts here that might require some intervention, and then start asking Atlas more about that data. I think I've done that maybe up here. Right. So I asked it just earlier today, how are we looking today? And it said, this will load. Let's just get a portfolio snapshot. So it already preloaded with some functions and some requests. So it already knows what I'm asking for. And so if I'm looking at like my portfolio, I might already know what needs attention. I'm seeing the accounts that are highest at risk. I can see that there's an active intervention in progress. I can see some usage decline across 2 accounts, and a few things that we might not want to miss here, right? And if you have either 5,000 accounts or 50 accounts, you can sort of adjust this through the conversational agent here. So I said, okay, well, I want to know what's already outstanding, what's outstanding action items or playbooks in flight. So it's going to tell me what playbooks are already in flight for certain companies, right? So Acme Logistics, We have a few things that we were working through that are outstanding. And then we have, with this account, we have the intervention and the status. So we were working yesterday. We want to go ahead and complete the intervention. And so I'm working with Atlas to kind of work through, okay, what do I want him to go do next? And, give me context on what he's been working on over the last day, right? So I want to execute renewal playbooks. He's confirming the playbook we have. And then I want him to send a renewal reminder or a renewal update for velocity, right? So this is really cool. This is what he did. He sent this email, which I think is very bad. It's subject line is not very optimized. It's kind of sending a weird intro. It's not really mentioning what he's trying to achieve. And so I said, hey, Atlas, for a renewal email, let's always mention renewal date coming up, our intention to align on current relationship statuses. Why are we reaching out? I want the usage and value of the platform within the email, a quick snapshot. And then I want him to ask for a time to meet. And so he saved this, right? So here's what exactly we'll include in every renewal check-in email going forward. Boom. So he's learning how to execute this over time. And then he drafted a new one. Much better. Not perfect, but for a junior CSM, pretty good. Velocity HQ renewal on May 10th. Wanted to connect before then. Hey, you've been using us since March 2024. Here's your renewal coming up. Here's a little view of what's going on with your platform. Like, this could use some improvement, but better. And then can we find 30 minutes, right? Then he gives me more context on, hey, what are some things we should know about Sarah before we send this? Whoa, they gave us an NPS of 5, right? The email services ticket issue, honestly, without being alarming. So it's bringing more context about that customer already. Like, hey, are you sure you want to send this renewal email that's standard and not ensure and make sure? So this is the power of the context and company, and the agent itself is sort of contextualizing this email rather than you configure everything. He's going to also then give me a renewal snapshot before, right? And this is format a little rough, but you can have this via email. It's going to be the health score, the active users, all the data here. It's going to give me the risk factors. It's going to give me the last login, active users, and this is going to be talking points. This is all going to be in my email prior to sending things to them. So this is like a simple thing, but the patterns remain of an agent that can, one, learn and save to memory the things that you're learning, the company and product and context in which it needs to learn against. It knows what our features are, our products are, and then 3, the workflow of executing playbooks. So we've taken some agentic fundamentals and we layered in lifecycle or CS best practices on this, where you get a great mix of agentic autonomy mixed with frameworks and rules of working, where you don't want to have an agent doing whatever you want, right? And I think that's really kind of how we set up our frameworks for CS. So if you find this helpful, let me know. I can share with you the prompts and guides of this. I don't mind. If you're working on some of these workflows within your company, I'd love to hear more about them. And then we can continue building CS agents to take all of the dirty work off of our plates as best we can.